Hey everyone watching out there in internet land. We're here commentating the New Zealand's under-19 women playing the US under-19 women. It's end of Sunday here over at tournament, so play's been going for a few days. So excited to see what these teams can come up with.
Hi, this is Agnes from USA, and I'm here again to help commentate. We're really excited we saw New Zealand. Oh yeah, don't turn off my. Sorry. We're excited for this rematch. The New Zealand USA played each other yesterday, and they've had no games in between, as far as I know of. The New Zealand team won yesterday 8-0. But the USA ladies put up quite a fight, and I'm sure they're ready to come out kicking today and hopefully have a few tricks up their sleeve.
Yeah, I'm sure they will. I think one of the advantages of this tournament, with the under-19 women having a double round robin, it's been commentated on quite a lot. Teams really get the chance to learn about their opposition, think about their tactics, change them for the next time, and I think for a team like the States, getting that really great game experience over the tournament, I'm sure they're going to come out fast and hard at the start of this one.
I'm sure they're hoping to. And the interesting thing is that for the USA, this is their second game against New Zealand. They have yet to play Colombia, so they'll still be playing Colombia twice. But other than that, they have played every other team in their division. And hopefully are learning every step of the way. So this is their first rematch, and it'll be interesting to see what they learned from the first one. And then New Zealand, of course, being a more experienced team in this, I'm sure they learned too from what from their game yesterday that they played against the U.S. So they'll probably come up with some new things too.
I think so, and the Kiwi girls had a tough game earlier today. They played South Africa, the defending world champions in this grade, came away with a very tight 2-1 victory, so it'll be interesting to see how their fitness holds up and how they can back up in the second game of the day.
Yeah, that will make a difference because the USA, this is their only game today, and so that will certainly help them in this. And last time they played South Africa, I believe, beat them 5-0 or 4-0. Again, a good battle. But the USA team is getting experience here, and they're looking forward to improving every single game. And hopefully they can take advantage of the fact that New Zealand might be a little more tired than they are.
So for those of you at home who might not have seen much of the sport before, this is quite a good shot showing the setup here. We've got 4 substitute players from each team in these little boxes over on the side. Coaches have their own little box that they need to stay in as well, and the teams are lined up ready for the first strike of the game.
Yep. So it looks like both teams have 4 subs, which means they have a full complement. They have 10 players, and they have 4 that can go in at any time. The rules are, of course, that the player in the playing area has to be fully in the sub box before the substitute player can dive in and join the play. And using your substitutes well is a really important part of the game.
So the game's now fully in action. Great kickoff there from USA. Good speed out to the strike. Great position.
It looks like the New Zealand team is taking control of the puck. There's an advantage being called by the referee. That's what and now the signal. And it's against the USA. So the referee was twirling his hand, and that just means that he saw a foul. But he doesn't want to give advantage to the team that already has advantage because that would just slow down their drive. At a point when the USA team, the team that had drawn the foul, turns the play around, then the referee will give the team, the New Zealand team that had possession, give them the advantage. And there's referees calling no goal on that. And we'll see. Usually it's because it's been gloved in.
So there was a nice use by New Zealand of their free puck right up on the attacking 5-metre line, but unfortunately an infringement just before they put it into the bin and had that goal disallowed.
And so now the USA has the advantage. Hopefully they can take good advantage of that. And the New Zealand players just taking control, punching right through. But a foul called again on the USA player number 8. That's Vivian Lee.
That little symbol that the ref did with the fist pointed towards a player, that just signals that the ref's given that player an individual warning. So the next time that player commits the same infringement, they're likely to be sitting on a chair in the sin bin.
Yep, which you don't want to be doing. And the USA taking it out to the corner. A little bit safer for them there. But, of course, they need to get it out of there so they can move up the pool.
Nice work from the Kiwi girls there, spreading it across the pool.
And it looks like that one went in, and no infringements there. Looks like credit to number 2. That would be Alicia Samuel.
Potentially number 3. It's quite hard to see from this angle
Yeah,
how many
it is.
how many fingers the refs are holding up there. Let's say 3.
Oh, was it 3? Okay, that's Charlotte Boric. Is that how
Yeah,
it's
Charlotte
pronounced?
Boric,
Okay.
the team's vice captain, scoring that goal.
Yeah, we saw her scoring quite a bit yesterday, too.
Again, really good speed from the US out on the strike. Great to see them using that nice pace and setting themselves off on a really good tone.
Yep. And it's a little bit lack of experience when they do win that strike a lot. And they're getting better at taking advantage of that. They've got some really fast strikers. Kenya is often taking the strike. Kenya Lamb is often taking the strike for the USA girls. And she's just doing a great job winning most of the strikes that she takes.
So I've heard that this US team has some quite young players. They've got a 13-year-old and maybe a couple of 15-year-olds in there.
13-year-old and at least 2 15-year-olds. I have it written down here somewhere, but yes, it is. It's a young team, and it's the first time the USA has sent a team to Worlds, girls team to Worlds. We had an under-19 boys team in Spain, and this year we've got the under-19 boys and girls, and also an under-23 boys men's team, and. So yeah, this is a new experience for all of us. The coaches, Sue and Kendall Banks, have had extensive Worlds experience, so they've been great help to these girls in their game, but it's all a learning experience.
So some great numbers there from New Zealand on the wall, helping them to really drive the puck forwards, but it's been well countered by the US. Hopefully they can shut this down and get some numbers there in defence too.
Yeah. So the New Zealand team swinging it around nicely, and that's really hard to defend for the USA team. They need to make sure that stays in the corner on the wall. Looks like another goal for the New Zealand team.
It's a nicely constructed goal there for New Zealand number 2, which is Alicia Samuels. See her swimming back there, really generated from that switch across the back and that really nice pass through from one of the New Zealand backs. Great to see. I think it's one of the things I've been most impressed about in the water coaching the under-23 girls for New Zealand, and it's great to see some really strong women's players coming through with some nice passes, really able to break that game open and make it nice and free-flowing.
Yeah, absolutely. When they get it off the wall, they're dangerous. The New Zealand girls really move the puck out and around and look for the gaps and go right through big passes and always someone waiting. And once again, on the end wall, on the side wall, a little hard to tell exactly what's happening, but it looks like it's going a little bit in the USA direction.
Yeah, unfortunately it's quite hard to see when the camera's over on that far wall, but you can actually tell quite a lot from these surface shots about how teams are setting up, and generally the surge of bodies in one direction or the other gives you a good sense of which team's in control. Looks fairly even here at the moment. It'll just be a question of who can get more numbers in there and really get control of that puck.
Yeah. And at both teams, I'm sure, trying to get the puck off the wall to their own players, just getting it off. And you could see the USA team took it out, and the New Zealand team is trying to get it right back so they can maybe continue that swing, but they both want to get the control away from the other team. And then another drive toward the goal, and it looks like it's being defended. But just too many New Zealand players coming right down there, and that looked like number 5.
So that was Tessa Timms from Nelson scoring that goal there. So this is her first World Champs, so she'll be pretty excited to be getting involved and getting on the scoreboard. Thanks.
So how many of the girls there have been on the New Zealand team have been to Worlds before?
There's 3 there. So last World Champs in Spain, I was coaching the under-19 girls. So I had the pleasure of coaching 3 of those lovely ladies in my team. I've now moved up to the 23s, but it's great to, I think, have a core of players who can stay with an under-19 team, and hopefully that's something the States will be able to do next time, given that their team's so young.
Yeah, no, that absolutely. We've only have one on the USA team who's had Worlds experience, so this is it's a learning experience for everybody. But since the team is so young, we certainly hope that they'll be back on the under-19, and if we are able to have an under-23 girls team, ladies team in Sheffield, then it would be. It would certainly be nice if these ladies would return to that as well.
So we've just counted down a timeout here, team timeout. Not quite sure which team called that, but a chance for both teams to take a breath, for their chances to impart a few choice words of wisdom and then start off again.
Definitely need those words of wisdom and just calm the teams down. If they're the USA team, they're obviously a little bit on their heels. The scores yesterday came fast and hard at the beginning, and then the USA ladies regrouped and changed their play just a little bit, and were able to counter the New Zealand plays a lot better. So we'll see if they can do that again today.
Yeah, I think it's obviously a little hard from the outside looking in, but it looks like the USA are doing a really good job of shutting down that first phase of the Kiwi attack, and then maybe just not quite having the numbers there for that second wave of momentum coming through. So hopefully their coach was in there chatting to them about, once you've made that initial stop, making sure you're getting some more players in behind the puck and driving it forwards again.
And that was the other playing area. I heard the heard the buzzer.
Yeah, it's a common challenge for our players in there as well. Got one buzzer that sounds a little bit like a frog and one that sounds a bit more like a siren, and players are changing courts. So it's hard for them to keep a handle on which court they're in. So it looks like another New Zealand goal there to number 6, Marika Bavila. She's one of our New Zealand siblings. Her older sister Emma's playing in the under-23 team, so great to see a strong hockey family coming through.
Well, if you've noticed the names on the USA team, we actually have 3 pairs of sisters playing. We've got Jana and Elsa de Bruyne, Molly and Abby Banks, and Teresa and Vivian Lee, all 3 pairs of sisters. It just worked out that way, and we're happy to have them, certainly.
Oh, and yet again, a really nice strike there from the States. It's good to see them looking to move the puck wide straight away off the strike. Shows good confidence from the team looking to use their passes, trying to use their players in space.
Yeah, that's the USA team has been pretty consistently winning strikes, but the New Zealand team is just a little bit more disciplined and organized with their plays, as you say, completing them. USA is certainly putting in great efforts, and New Zealand is doing an excellent job being a little patient and taking the puck back and using it to their advantage. Yeah,
patience is obviously a key thing in this sport. Sometimes you need to make sure you've got players down, hold it for a couple of phases.
Out there.
Yeah, really nicely defended from the States. They seem to have some players here and supporting this drive out from their own bin. Hopefully they can build some good attacking momentum.
That was a nice decision there. She was looking for an open pass to the inside and didn't see it, so turned around and went the other way. It turns out a USA player was waiting for her there, but that was a nice decision on the New Zealand player's part.
Yeah, it seems that in this last little bit, the States players have really found their groove and started to make some momentum, got good numbers on the bottom. Unfortunately, been pulled up for an infringement there, so they'll be pushed back. It'll be a chance for the Kiwi girls to maintain a little bit of control. Yeah. Looks like another team timeout here called by New Zealand. Again, a chance for the coaches to pop into the court, have a word to their players. Can be quite hard as a coach sitting in your little box, not able to get in there and communicate with your team. So it's nice to have these little bursts where you can maybe get out about 30 seconds of words and hope your players are paying attention.
Yeah, and then also too, if they're tired from a hard game earlier today, the New Zealand team probably just to get a little bit of a breather and regroup and get that coaching in, but also just catch their breath a little bit and think about what they're going to do and just have a chance to plan a little more. And of course, the USA gets a chance to rest too.
And this surfer shot is actually a really great chance to see how the two teams are setting up. You can see the difference in styles between the two teams. Still six players in the water, but every country and every team likes to organise them in slightly different ways. It's obviously quite important in a sport where you can't communicate or talk to each other underwater to have a really clear idea of what you're trying to do.
And both teams were very widely spread out. A lot of times you see the teams on the advantage or the disadvantage puck to really play it tight. And both these teams are wide, and they like the wide open game, which is I talked to my daughters afterwards, and they just really enjoyed this game. They lost yesterday 8-0, but they said playing New Zealand was a lot of fun. They enjoyed the game a lot. I think the styles are similar enough that they just
nice drive here from this.
Not giving up. Now get the support in there.
Yeah, it's really important at this level.
Nice play. That was a beautiful play by the USA. Get that back. Stay calm.
Yeah, really important at this level to make sure you've got those support players coming through when you've got one player making a break, really capitalising on that with that second wave coming in.
Yeah. Oh, and so they try to swing it across, and the New Zealand player snatches it up and starts driving it the other direction. Nice play by New Zealand.
Again, well defended by the US. I think both teams obviously getting a little tired towards this half. Numbers on the bottom have gone right down, so there's just one or two players down there. I think it'll be a question of who can regroup, resettle, and get their team back on the bottom.
Yep, it's easy when you start getting tired and you see someone making a great play to kind of stay on the surface, catch your breath, and go say, go, go, go. But of course, where you really want to be is right next to that player saying go, go, go. On the bottom. But
and there's a lot of swimming in this game, lots of side to side from both teams. So
that's a tiring game. It's a really nice game. Oh, look at that! Just the New Zealand team is just very good at hitting the puck very fast and hard, and often they're coming out with the puck when just simply from being there faster and hitting the puck instantly.
And again, really nice work from the US. When they put multiple people on the bottom and start really pressuring those Kiwis, they're really making some good forward momentum. As you see, one of the Kiwi girls hit on an angle drive there across the pool, really had her legs going, which is great to see, that good speed.
Yeah, I'm very impressed with the USA team. They're really keeping their act together. Just more bodies on the bottom, and they'll have it. And it looks like a breakaway. That looks like a swing maybe by the New Zealand team. And look at them, just good defense.
Great defense there from that defender. Okay. Beautiful tackle under pressure in front of the bin with two attackers on her. Nice composure and control.
They definitely had a lot of momentum coming into the goal. So that was nice job by the USA team pulling that out of the trough. And back in again toward the goal.
So there's just a couple of minutes left in this first half. It's been quite a long passage of play with no stoppages. The refs have obviously decided to keep the game nice and free-flowing, and it's nice and clean in there.
And another goal for New Zealand by number 2 .
Yep, number 2, Alicia Samuels there. You can see her swimming back from the goal. Obviously earned a well-earned sub after that long passage of play. All the players will be pretty exhausted. You can see they're making their way back to the sub bench quite slowly for a well-deserved rest.
Yeah, and this pool, it's a big surface area on this pool. It's quite wide and 25 long and 15 with the curved lens here on the surface. It looks kind of square, but it's actually a 25 meters long and 15 meters wide. But when they're swinging back and forth, that's a lot of pool that they're covering.
Yeah, and obviously each team's got 6 in the water and 4 subs, so it's not a 1-for-1. Some players will need to be in there more than others. Some teams have some players who stay in for the whole game, and other teams tend to rotate through. So obviously in those long passages of play, you've got some people in there who are getting pretty tired.
Right, and then you'll have players too that are playing more of a defense and hang back and jump in when necessary. They might not take as many subs or any subs in some cases, whereas the forwards who are really doing a lot of the sprinting. And nice play there by New Zealand. And the USA, there was almost a collision between two USA players with each other, but they seem to...
See, the
work
refs
that
have
out.
seen some infringement here. Just checking with the other referees. So the call there is for barging or obstruction against New Zealand. So it's a multiple purpose call. So potentially a player was coming in and blocking with their body or advancing using their body and taking one of the US out of play and called up for that infringement.
And we couldn't see it on the screen, but the referees obviously, unfortunately, have a better view of the game than we do.
And I think the free pucks are an example of where teams who have a little more experience internationally are able to use those to their advantage. Some teams are just trying to get the play back in action as quickly as they can, and other teams have a few tricks up their sleeve that they're trying to pull out on those free pucks. And I think the States are trying to get the puck moving as quickly as possible, and the Kiwi girls are able to counter those quite effectively.
Yeah, and just the fact that the Kiwi girls have the 5-0 lead right now, so they can afford to be a little more patient, and the USA team should probably in most instances also be similarly patient, but when they're down, that it's really easy, especially on those advantages, to try to take the puck when maybe just being a little patient and waiting for your team to set up would be the better thing. But if you wait too long, on the other hand, the New Zealand ladies are very quick to hit the puck, and you can't afford to wait too long either.
So it's halftime here. If you had a chance to share some words with the US team, what would you be saying to them right now?
And we do have the live chat thing on our website. And a lot of cheering for Emma.
It's very, very cute. So you can obviously see the Kiwi girls here on the side. Look like they've been working hard, really trying to get in some breaths while they can, rest and recover. You can see Charlotte Borich, the vice captain, there in the middle, getting some water while she can. She's playing goalie for the New Zealand team, so obviously in there working quite hard.
Yeah, and sitting up on the side, really trying to catch your breath. A lot of teams prefer to do that. It looks like the USA team is paddling in the water and hopefully just resting their legs, but catching their breath as well. And I'm sure Coach Kendall and Sue Banks are letting them know what they're doing right and what they need to improve on, and I'm sure they'll come out with a few extra ideas in their head, and hopefully they can put them to good use. And same as yesterday, the immediate first few points, the New Zealand team was just a little more organized, a little quicker, hit a little harder, and got several goals in quick succession. And the USA team is countering much better now, and hopefully can get it up into their end and put one in their trough.
Yeah, I think both teams have had passages in the first half that they'd be really, really pleased with. The Kiwi girls have had some great passages on attack when they've been moving the puck around and really connecting with their teammates, and the USA have had some great passages on defence, and when they put numbers down on those walls and through the middle of the pool, they're making some really good momentum. So hopefully both teams can capitalise on those in the second half, and we'll see a great 15 minutes of hockey.
Yeah, it's really fun to watch, because it's like when they do things right, both teams, but the USA girls particularly, they can really see a payoff for doing the plan and playing the game that they want to play. And it looks like one team or the other driving it to the far wall. Can't see who has it at this point.
Yeah, I think it was another great strike from the US there. All of their players were really nice and low and flat coming in, which really helped, and you could see them take control of that puck straight away.
And I can't.
I think one of the greatest things about this tournament is just the number of teams we're seeing in the female grades, I think. So I played some junior hockey for New Zealand quite a while ago now. I think my first World Champs, there were 3 countries in the under-19 girls grades, so it's fantastic to see it to a level where lots of the really strong elite women's countries are also represented in the 23 and 19 grade. Awesome to see those players coming through and countries really putting the effort in to develop their junior players and
Yeah,
hopefully transition them through to elite level.
Yeah, in the USA, unfortunately, we don't really have too many. We've got some junior programs in San Francisco and at Roger Bacon High School in Cincinnati. But in general, most of these girls just play right along with the adults in their club games and just on their regular practices. And most of these girls have never, well, for most of them, this is probably the first time they've played all women's against just other ladies. And that's, of course, a new experience. It's pretty different. And interestingly enough, I see some of the players, trying things that work against the big guys that maybe can't turn as fast. But they don't work as well in here. So all this is a learning experience, too. And it would be really nice to have more ladies-only type of games in the USA. And we're getting there slowly but surely. But it's still just a problem of not getting the numbers.
Yeah, you're right. It is quite a different game between guys and girls and mixed hockey. So it does take a little while for everyone to settle into playing women's hockey. It's a great style of the game, but you're right, it's just quite different.
Yeah, and in general, the girls are very willing and able to swing the puck nice and wide and drive it around. And when you come up against a big guy, obviously they're going to do evasive measures, and the big guy can just go right through. So it does change the game a whole lot. Some of the skills, I think, are good, and a lot of them just the team play and that, and there's an advantage being called.
So the States have started the second half quite strongly. They've spent most of the first 3 minutes up in the New Zealand half, putting some real pressure on. Kiwis just starting to get a bit of a roll on now.
I'm not sure what that call is. Do you know?
I think he's signalling that a player might have lost their... No, okay, so this is for a dangerous flick, I suspect. Unsportsmanlike conduct. Not entirely sure what the ref was saying there, but that signal of the tapping the fist to the head is unsportsmanlike conduct, most commonly called for when players are shooting the puck a little too close to another player's head or body, and it's considered dangerous, and that players earn themselves some time in the sin bin.
And then that was number 11, Molly Banks. It was most likely a headshot type thing that gets that kind of call, but it can also be any other sort of intentional foul or something. With Molly, she's a big pass. My guess is it was a pass that went too close to somebody. And
so, nice goal there from the Kiwis, really making the most of that power play when they're up one player and camping out in the right-hand corner there and then spreading the puck across and into the bin. Quite hard to defend in that position when you've got 5 in the water, especially against a team that's really trying to move the puck into the open space and make the most of numbers to create those overlaps out wide.
Yeah, and that's where this experience, the New Zealand team's experience, is really important. And the USA will be learning a lot from these games and hopefully dealing with these better. And so now, can't see the play. And some back and forth in the corner. Looks like.
Again, the US doing quite well to drive this puck straight away up into the Kiwi attacking corner. Hopefully they can pull it out from there into the middle and head towards the bin.
Yeah, so the corner is certainly a safer place for it to be for the USA. And then they want to start driving it up the wall and a lot of times swing it around. But, of course, anytime they do that, then they risk the New Zealand ladies grabbing that puck and taking it. Looks like they're making some good progress down the pool. And nice drive toward the goal. Looks like
some good goal bin defense in there from the States.
Absolutely. Looked really close, but the New Zealand ladies pulled that one out.
I think the USA team's really tightened up since the start of the first half, making sure that not just countering that first wave like we talked about earlier, but they're also making sure they get those numbers in behind so they can defend when the Kiwis try and recycle it and have their second and third waves driving through. It's really positive to see a team that can think and learn and adapt over the course of a game, and it's really working for the States.
Yeah, and I think, too, that'll help them in all their games to be able to keep that pressure up, the USA teams. New Zealand is clearly a stronger team, but the USA still has a lot more games to play, and this experience against the New Zealand team is going to be very helpful for them. And they're still up there in that corner, working hard to try to move it in. See a lot of bodies down. When you look on the cameras every once in a while, you'll see nobody left on the surface, which is a good thing, but they're also getting tired. And
nice
turn
drive
around
there from the Kiwi girls coming through the middle.
And that one looks like it went in. Let's see what the referees say. Good job, USA. What number was that?
Goal there, I think. Looks like number 12 potentially.
But that would be Paige Thompson. I'm not sure if it was 12. But good. That was just a really, really important goal for the USA team. They really wanted to score.
Oh, sorry, that wasn't the US, that was the Kiwis.
Oh, it was? Oh, okay. Well, it would have been really important for the USA team. No, nice goal. There was a nice long drive, and obviously our view of the game isn't it much better than anybody else's. And that's true, yes. The Kiwis are going right to left now. And it looks like another drive for the goal. Okay, and another score for the New Zealand ladies. And I think the USA team's probably getting a little bit flustered now. They had a long, hard fight, and we're really making progress up the pool. And then to have 2 goals scored quickly in succession like that can be kind of flustering. So hopefully they can keep their cool, stay composed, play their game, and turn the puck around a little bit more than they have right now.
Yeah, it's quite hard for teams when they spend a lot of time camped up in their own attacking corner and aren't able to convert those opportunities, and then the opposition team rolls them back down the pool and scores. It's almost like a double goal for the opposition, and can be quite exhausting for your players when you spend a lot of time up there really trying to pull the puck into the middle and score, and then you end up getting scored against down the other end.
It's exhausting and very disheartening, when you work that hard and you drive it that far, and then just some energy there, and a nice clear from the goal. And again, could use a few more players now into the corner so the New Zealand team doesn't take it back in, because they don't want it in the corner. They're going to try to pass it out. Good job there.
Getting some great support from the US in defence. Yep. Hopefully they can mount a little bit of a counter-attack here up this wall.
And again, the New Zealand ladies pulling it off the wall and trying to bring it back in toward the middle, where they're very powerful. And it looks like it continues on. USA team driving it all the way across. And a call against the USA team.
It's again for barging or obstruction. So it can get quite physical in there. Hockey's supposed to be a non-contact sport, but it's quite hard when you've got this many players all in a small space, all fighting for that same puck. There is a bit of body contact sometimes.
There's a lot of incidental contact. Yeah, for a non-contact sport, you do come out a little bruised and battered, but...
And definitely as players move up through the age groups, they learn the difference between using their body legally and illegally, making sure that they're being nice and physical and tough on the bottom, but not crossing that line.
Exactly, and that's a hard thing to learn too. And a lot of in the USA, depending on the teams you go in, we try to play very clean games, and then you come to Worlds, and you kind of have to push that envelope a little bit. You don't want to foul and get calls, but on the other hand, you do want to get physical enough without getting the calls, and things that are perceived as unsportsmanlike, maybe in your home club games against your friends, are totally acceptable here. And in fact, if you don't do those things, then you're not helping your team. I mean, if the refs aren't calling a little bit of
Um,
pushing the puck or whatever. You know, I mean, you don't want to be gloving obvious fouls like that, but the little bit more physical, it happens at these games.
Yeah, we see a timeout here being called by the US team. Chance for them to regroup, get a couple of breaths. But yeah, I definitely agree. I think one of the ways the women's game's developing is that it's getting stronger and faster, and it's great to see players in the gym and really learning how to think about themselves as athletes, and really focusing on using their bodies in the water and making sure that they're maximising possession and really keeping control of the puck and being in there nice and tough. It's good to see a girls' game where players are really fighting for it.
Yeah, absolutely. And then, you know, down on the bottom, when you're down on the bottom and someone hits you hard and it's totally clean play, you still end up getting bumped and stuff. And that's part of the game. These girls expect it, and they're ready for it. And I think that's one thing that the New Zealand girls really excel at. They hit hard and fast. And, you know, they're not getting the calls for gloving. They're doing it clean.
Nice
exactly
play
what you
there
want
from
to do.
the US. Really
Okay, good. And then they
good
have that
numbers
support in there.
defending that Kiwi drive
And,
through the middle,
the
spreading
Kiwi
it out
player
nicely.
doing a beautiful job, though, keeping it right in the middle and not getting flustered and just keep calm and find her teammate. And there's a lot of U.S. players and a
nice
drive.
work there. Good pass and drive.
They keep that momentum going that direction. And the Kiwi team, again, turning it around nicely. And, again, USA team turning it around.
Well, I'm not sure what the USA coach said there in that timeout, but he obviously
he
had
said,
some
score, go get some score.
obviously had some
They're
great words
nice
there.
points. But they seem more, there's more players down there. They're really supporting each other.
Yeah, they've come out hard.
A lot better. And there we go. And look at that second effort. Beautiful play. That was number 7, Paige Thompson. No, wait, that's Teresa Lee. And
so the Kiwis here just camped out in the middle in front of the US goal. The States players will be looking to clear this out to the side and use those support players, use those numbers to help them drive the puck back up the other end of the pool.
and the fitness level of these Kiwi players must be excellent because they, like you say, they played a hard game this morning and they're still coming on really strong.
Yeah, I think that's one of the advantages of coming to a tournament with 12 players. So a squad of 12 and 10 in the water for each game. You really get a chance to be smart about how you manage your players. Obviously, it's winter over here, so you're trying to look after sniffles. I think almost every team have got a few.
Oh, and so New Zealand breaks through.
Nicely
The
controlled there
defense.
from the Kiwis.
Very, very nicely done on their part, yes.
Looks like a goal to number 8. We all in agreement, number 8?
I think that I'll agree, number 8.
So that's Sarah Wilson. Nicely scored there on the outside. Yeah, I think of the amount of coughing and spluttering around the pool. It's obviously been pretty tough for some of those teams from States and Europe and South America.
We
have had to
definitely have some long stuff going around,
Yeah.
just hacking cough. And it's
those long
kinda
travel
scary.
flights.
Yeah,
and,
exactly. Everybody's a little bit stressed just from being here, of course, but the many, many hours on the airplane, it's a tough one.
Yeah, just
And
counting
was there
down
a
another
timeout?
timeout here.
Okay.
I think I've said to my players that actually tournament's a great place to get well because all you have to do is sleep, eat, and play a little bit of hockey. So no one really has to worry about work or school or study. So players can get up in the morning, have some food, play a game, go back to bed. So it's actually a great place to get healthy quickly.
Yeah, my kids always tend to get sick immediately after the tournament when their guard is down a little bit, I think. And so currently New Zealand with 9 points, USA with none on the board yet, and less than 2 minutes to go. So the USA obviously would love to get a point in, but they've got their work cut out for them. These Kiwi ladies are really, really strong and really good at turning the puck around and using it to their advantage. And really nice drive by the USA. And
hopefully she can get some numbers there, keep those legs going.
And beautiful defense, but they're following it up. Oh, that was
it's
that was
unfortunate.
so
It's
close.
Such
Yeah.
a great drive. Still got an
And if
opportunity
the,
up here in this attacking corner if they can get their support players in there
They've
quickly.
still got a minute. Number 5 taking out of the corner. That's Jennifer Tom. And the Kiwis back in control, taking it down the wall.
And obviously I'm a Kiwi and I'd love to see the Kiwi girls hold them out, but these USA girls have really played with a lot of heart today, so it'd be great to see them get one up on the scoreboard.
That was a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful effort. And again, the New Zealand girls have just a beautiful defense. And USA trying to turn it around one more time, but the New Zealand girls taking it back into the middle, and it looks like advantage to the USA girls.
So if anyone's a bit confused about what's happened to the clock, in the last 2 minutes of each game, the referees stopped the clock, just designed to stop any players from deliberately infringing to wind down the time in these last little bits. So any stoppage of play, any refs call in the last 2 minutes, the clock stops, then it restarts again once play restarts.
Yeah, and that's really important in a game that's close. If it's 1 point, if one team has a 1 point lead, okay, it looks like an encroachment on the Kiwi team, which is unusual to get a mistake from an experienced team like that, like this, to get a mistake like that. But they must have crossed the line before the little earlier than they should have.
Can be quite easy to do at this stage of the game. You sort of a little bit tired, don't quite look at the refs, or you may be looking at the wrong referee, just line up in slightly the wrong place.
Right, and the adrenaline is going, and everybody gets a little overexcited.
So we count down these last few seconds here, just having a look at the overall leaderboard in the under-19 women's grade. At the moment, so South Africa is sitting on top with 15 points, but the Kiwi girls with this win, that'll take them up into 16 and put them at first seed at the end of today's play.
Okay, and we've got 5 seconds left in this game, and I just hope it's awfully close to the goal. It would be, I don't know if that went, did that go in? Oh, it looks like they put one in the last second of play. I think that went in before. I never heard the timer go off.
No, I think they've
I think they put that one in.
That's a goal.
Yeah. So there was maybe 2 seconds left on the clock when the New Zealand ladies put that goal in, and very well played game on New Zealand's part. USA put up a brilliant effort, I think, in their defense, and really got their offense together and their defense, and played an impressive game. But they're obviously the New Zealand team is a stronger team at this point.
So we're just going to pop out onto courtside and try and nab one of these players for a post-match interview, so bear with us for a second. Hey everyone back at home. Just finished this game between the USA under-19 women and the Kiwi under-19 women, a 10-0 victory to New Zealand. We've got number 2, Alicia Samuels, just jumping out of the pool and going to join us for a quick chat about the game. Scored a couple of goals in that game, so hopefully she'll be fizzing. Hey Alicia, just looking at the camera over here so you can give a wave to everyone back home. So tell me about that game. How did you guys feel in the water?
Oh yeah, the USA were very strong, but I think our team pulled through very well. We had one player with a blood nose, but apart from that, yeah, very good game.
Nice work. So you guys played these guys yesterday in 8-0, so obviously took another step up today. How are you guys feeling heading towards the little business end of this tournament?
Yeah, I think we're feeling pretty pumped. Quite coffee from the chlorine today, but apart, yeah, very good.
Nice work. And anything you want to say to people supporting you back home?
Shout out to Mum and Dad and Auntie Terry, good supporters, love you guys.
Thanks, Alicia. Hey. Hey, and I've got Paige here from the USA team. Paige, tough fight out there. I think you guys were unlucky not to score a couple of goals. You had some great support coming through, but just couldn't quite capitalise.
Yeah, we did. I mean, it was a tough game. We struggled with a couple things, but overall, I think it was pretty good.
Yeah, I think from the side looking in, there are lots of great things that your team was doing. I think anytime you put numbers on the bottom, you put those Kiwi girls under real pressure.
Yeah, we try. We stay under pretty long. I mean, that's a tough team, and they're really good. So they put up a tough battle for us, and we put up one for them. And yeah.
Nice. And obviously for most of your team, it's their first time competing at a World Champs. How are you guys enjoying it?
Oh, we're having a lot of fun. It's a new experience and meeting a ton of new people, which is so much fun. And like, everybody's so nice. Obviously not in the pool because they want to win, but throughout, it's okay. I'm losing my voice because I've been screaming so much. So, we're having fun. It's good.
Awesome work. Well, well done on a tough game. And anything you want to say back home before we sign off?
Thank you. And hey, Mom and Dad. Thank you for everybody for coming. Bye.
Thanks very much, Paige. That's us signing out.